9th of January, Rabbi Levitt, Daniel.
Okay. Let's see where we up to. So we're up to Pasuk Vav in Per Gimel.
Let's see.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Good morning. Let's see.
We're on in Per Gimel. Started Per Gimel yesterday. We got up to Pasuk Vav.
Right. Okay. So we're Gimel Vav.
Uman di la ye pale vayis ba
It's good.
sa yis remay lego atun nura yakid ta. They exclaimed and said to King Nebuchadnezzar, "May the king live forever." Okay.
No. You're reading from Pasuk Vav.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's on page 30, Lou.
Yeah. Whoever does not fall and prostrate himself will immediately be thrown into a fiery burning furnace. Right?
Oh, Tasa, yeah.
Okay. So
Tasa,
the correct
Shemay,
just didn't
Lego,
English.
Nora, Yekidta.
Okay, so the commentary says will be thrown into a fiery burning furnace. This was a traditional mode of execution in Babylonia. Abraham had faced this type of death when he refused to bow to Nimrod's idols. The burning of anyone who disobeyed, besides serving as a deterrent, would also serve a symbolic purpose, just as the burning would leave no trace of the unfortunate rebel, so would there remain no trace of insurrection against Nebuchadnezzar's regime.
Wow.
Good morning. Sorry I'm late.
Morning,
Alan.
Okay.
Okay.
So what page are we on now?
We're
31?
up to page 30, Pasuk Zion.
Okay.
Okay. So Nebuchadnezzar is given the orders. He's given the instruction and given the orders, and everybody knows what they got to do now. And so let's see what happens over here in Pasuk Zion. Mary, you want to continue Pasuk Zion?
Okay. Let's see. It says, Kol kavel dina be zimna kedi shim'in kol malya kal parna mashrokita katros sabachcha pisanterin v'chol zinei zimara naflin kol amemaya umaya v'lishanaya sagdin litzelem dehava de hakem Nebuchadnezzar Malka. Okay, so let's see. It says, therefore, where am I already? Oh, called Kavel. Okay. Therefore, as soon as all the peoples heard the sound of the horn the whistle, the tambourine, the drum, the cymbals, and all kinds of music. All the peoples, the nations, and the languages fell and prostrated themselves to the golden statue that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up.
Okay, so everybody obeyed. Everybody that was there obeyed when
Yeah.
they heard the what do they call that? Right, they heard the forget the word now. When they hear the sound of the horn and the whistle and all these things, all the music, that's their signal. That's their signal that then they got to bow. So they all of
Wow.
them, yeah, all the peoples, the nations, the languages, three different categories of people there, and they all bowed. Prostration. We didn't speak about exactly what does it mean prostration, but I believe that what that is referring to is the person is totally not just that he gives a little bit of a bow like people do by Aleinu when they go to daven. It says that they fell, meaning they fell on their face and they prostrated themselves flat on the ground, completely flat out on the ground. That is what they were doing over here. Okay. So let's go to the next pasuk. Pasuk Ches. Alan.
Well, I have one quick question.
Yeah.
There was certainly this pasuk had a lot of Aramaic in it. There's one word, I think, tselem, which is Hebrew. Is there any?
Oh, interesting.
Isn't there any? Is there a reason for that? I mean, that means statue, right?
Yeah, actually, before we said that Salma with an aleph.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Let's see. What would be the reason for that? Where did we see that word before? It was almost exactly the same.
I think in pasuk 5. Let's look at.
Oh yeah, it's in pasuk. There's one in pasuk base. Salma, the Hakim Nebuchadnezzar Malka, and also in Gimel, Salma, and 3 times Salma.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so over here, I think the reason is because here you have an adjective. You have an adjective of dahava. Dahava is gold. In Aramaic, the hay switches the design the dalet switches for a Zion. So instead of zahav, it's dahav, and you add an aleph.
Uh-huh.
And so since you have an adjective which is modifying the noun of tselem, so you don't say salma dahava, you say tselem dahava.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's my theory. I don't know for a fact, but I see all that we did the same thing. If you look further in pasuk Yud, also it says tselem dahava over there.
Okay, so wow.
If you have an adjective, so the aleph is on the adjective and not on the noun.
I see. Okay. Well, it sounds plausible. It sounds good.
Okay, good question.
Yes. Ready?
Okay, yes, Alan, Pusik Ches.
Paul, Cornell, Denor, Bay, Zenor, uh, Gru, Guver, 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 Green, Casa Dor, Doreen, Halu, Kara say Hone D, you who A. You keep going and start the English. No, but armor ring, river, ruhad, Tsar, Malachor, Malachor, La Min, Chayai, let's see, in to Malachor,
Let's let's, let's translate those psukim. That's Pusik Ches and Tes.
great.
8 and 9. Let's translate 8 and 9.
Therefore, at that very time, some Chaldean men came forth and defamed the Jews. They explained and said to King Nebuchadnezzar, "May the king live forever. Oh, you, O king, issued a decree that every person who hears the sound of the horn, the whistle, tambourine, drum, cymbals, flute, and all kinds of music is to fall and prostrate himself to the golden statue."
Okay. Um,
Here.
okay, so we didn't actually read the note to 7, verse 7. Call Amamaya.
All the peoples, since all the nations had sent delegates to represent them at the ceremony, it was considered as though all nations had prostrated themselves before the image.
Okay, so all the representatives of the nations are there, and they're prostrating themselves before the image. What about the Jewish nation? So let's see the note to verse 8.
And they ate their winks. Ate their winks? Rashi explains the idiom thus: it was customary for gossip to be conveyed at a meal. The partaking of food was considered a sign that the gossip had been accepted. Therefore, this repast was called katzin, or a cue or sign from orates by a he winks with his eyes. I mean, Ezra points out that the Achulo Karatse Karatse Home. Ibn Ezra points out that the Lo Kara Sehon is Anquist's translation of Lo Selech Ruchil. Do not be a gossip monger. It explains that one who secretly speaks ill of someone who, as if he were eating his flesh.
Wow.
Next part is the Jews, since Ananiah, Mishael, and Uzziah refused to heed the king's order because of Jewishness, their refusal to bow down could have been interpreted as representative of the whole Jewish people. All the officials present at the ceremony were there as representatives of the people. Therefore, any action taken by them could be taken as an action of that same entire nation. Besides, a fine distinction between the single Jew and the whole Jewish people had always eluded anti-Semites. Verse 12.
So in other words, everybody was there.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was there. Meaning even the Hanani, Mishael, and Azariah. That's what it sounds like. And they were there. They came to the event, but when they got the cue, that was the word that I was looking for. When they got the cue from the music that it's time to fall on your face and prostrate yourself on the ground, they refused to do so. The three of them refused to do so. They did not heed the king's order, and so there was some Chaldean men that came forth, and they told Nebuchadnezzar that that's what they did. Okay, so now let's go further. Which I don't know which pasuk we got up to really.
Good.
Pasuk Yud.
Yeah, on page 30.
Okay.
Yeah, 30. All right.
Okay, Lou, you want to read pasuk Yud? Lou is there.
I'm here. Anta Malka Samta to aim di ho enash di yishma kol karna mash roki sa kas ros sabcha fisan terin Visupon ya v'cho zanei zimana yapel v'yis gad l'telem dahava. Okay, so you, O king, issued a decree that every person who hears the sound of the horn, the whistle, the tambourine, the drum, the cymbals, the flute, and all kinds of music is to fall and prostrate himself to the golden statue.
Okay.
So I don't see any commentary on.
No commentary on pasuk Yud.
No, there isn't. Huh.
Basically, they were saying Lashon Hara about the Jews.
Yeah, the Sudas David, I'll just read from the Sudas David in pasuk Yud. Ant Ata. Ant is Ata, Hamelech, you the king, Asita Gezeras Gezarta. Omer, you made a Gezerah that says, Asher Kol Ish, Asher Yishma Kol Karen, Hashofar B'chule. You made a Gezerah, whoever hears the music, Kol Shar Mine Zemer, Yipol Al Panav, Vishtachavu Al Tzura. Yeah, they did. It just says basically what the pasuk itself says. Oh, this word tam is interesting. There's the word tam in the pasuk Yud. Where is that word? Samta ta'im. you made a ta'im. So what's a ta'im? It sounds like the word tam. And the Metzudas Sion, he's the last commentator on the far left. Ta'im inyanoi b'kol makom davar sheyesh bo mamash hanase b'tam. This is something that I think what is the art school just said you issued a decree, but it's called ta'im because it's something that's a significant and a weighty matter. It has a reasoning to it. There's a point to it. V'lo davar shel mabakach, and it's not just stam. It's not just something that doesn't have any. There's nothing to it. There's plenty to. In other words, you made a very strong, well reasoned out and important ordinance, Your Highness, over here. That's what they're emphasizing over here. Samta te'em. And there's somebody that, even though what you did was very, very appropriate and very, very good and very wise, there's somebody who's they're not heeding that what you did. Okay. Yud Aleph, we have time. Yud Aleph, yeah, we got time. Okay, Yud. Yeah, you see, the psukim are really they're cut up into psukim, but the train of thought continues beyond the pasuk. It's like in the middle of a thought. The new pasuk, pasuk Yud Aleph, Uman di lo yipel. Okay, please, Mayor.
Okay, Umandi lo yipel vayis gud yitremei ligo atun nura yakidta. Okay, so and whoever does not fall and prostrate himself is to be thrown into a fiery burning furnace. Wow.
Atun nura.
I think the book is getting its message across in terms of this.
Yeah. And also nothing on this pasuk either.
No.
Take another pasuk.
Okay, so Yud Bet. Itai Guvrin Yehudain Di Manita Yat Hon Al Avidat Medinat Bavel Shadrach Meshach Ve'aved Nego Guvraya Ilech La Samu Alach Malka Te'aim Ilech Lachak La Halchin Ule Tselem. Here we are again. The Hava, the Hakim Ta La Sagvin. Okay, so there are Jewish men whom you have appointed over the affairs of the province of Babylonia, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Well, they use, their Aramaic names, I guess. These men have not accepted your decree upon themselves, O king, and your God they do not worship. And to the golden statue that you have set up, they do not prostrate themselves. Okay, 12. It says, Gavrin Yehudain, Jewish men. The defamers wanted to underline the gravity of the three Jews' defiance of stressing their nationality. Nebuchadnezzar understood that the kingdom that the God of heaven will set up would be the Jewish people, Thus, if the Jews did not humble themselves before his image, his plan would be thwarted. Okay. And then D, Manita Yathon, whom you have appointed. Because of their ingratitude, the most severe punishment should be meted out to them. Al-Sheikh. Since you have appointed them to positions of power, they were included in the king's order that all provincial officials should humble themselves before the image. Malbim. Okay, then the commentators ask why Daniel is not mentioned in this story. It is inconceivable that he was among those who bowed to the image. This question is touched upon in the Talmud in Sanhedrin. The consensus is that Daniel was not in Babylon when this occurred. Some maintain that Nebuchadnezzar's high regard for Daniel precluded them from accusing Daniel. Others maintain that since Nebuchadnezzar invited the officials of his realm to participate in his spectacle, only Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, who were appointed over the affairs of the province of Babylon, were invited. Daniel, notwithstanding the king's high regard for him, and although he was a private advisor to the king, did not serve in an official capacity, and therefore was not included in the king's edict. La Shemo Allah Malka Ta'aim, have not accepted your decree upon themselves, O king. And the translation follows Rav Sadia and Rav Shmuel Masnuth, who apparently render Ta'am as decree. Refusing, I guess it goes on. Yeah, refusing, what does it?
Oh,
No, okay, next page.
Go over to the bottom of 32.
32. La Palton Udselem Dehavia Di Kamta La Sagidin. Okay, your God they do not worship, and to the golden statue that you have set up they do not prostrate themselves. The unnecessary remark, your God they do not worship, hints to the reason that they do not prostrate themselves before the golden image. Their beliefs, which forbid them to pay homage to your gods, also preclude that acquiescing to your wish in the matter of the golden image. Since their defiance is based on their belief, it reflects on all their co-religionists. And Tosafot in Ketuvot says, quotes Rav Tam, who contends that this verse supports the view of the golden image was not an idol. Otherwise, the second phrase would be redundant, since the golden image would already have been included in your God they do not worship. Thus, the defamers, in order to magnify the crime, added that in addition to refusing to bow to the golden image, the three Jews had also abstained from worshiping the king's God. Wow. I guess they were out to get these Jews in Babylon.
Okay. Very interesting. Okay, good. So that was Pasuk Yud Base.
Good bet, yes.
Go to Yud Gimel. Alan. Yud Gimel. Page 32.
Right.
Second line from the top.
Okay. Beidi Yin Nuvu Shada Natar Bira Gan Morm or Elmar Lahi Sor Yor Lashida Rach Meshechor Vaid Nego Be Da Yin Guva Ra or Ilu He Sor Yu Kedem Malake or Nay Wanay ne Uchada Natsar Omar Lahon Hatsador Shada Reich Meshech Vaid Nago Lala Lay Law Ha Law Isay Kon Polachin Ulatselom Dachaber Vor Di Kemis Law Sorgadane. So I can continue.
No, let's translate. Translate Pasuk verse 13, and you read 14 also, I believe.
Yeah. All right. So do 14. No. Yeah.
Start with the translation of verse 13.
Okay. Then King Nebuchadnezzar, in anger and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men were then brought before the king. Nebuchadnezzar explained and said to them, "Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not worship my God and that you do not prostrate yourself to the golden statue I've set up? Now, behold, you must be prepared when you hear the sound of the horn, the whistle, tambourine, the drum, the cymbals, the flute, and all kinds of music, to fall and prostrate yourselves to the statue I have made. But if you do not prostrate yourselves, you will immediately be thrown into a fiery burning furnace. And who is the God who can save you from my hands?"
Oh.
Okay, so 13, we have no note for that.
So 14
Yeah,
is,
that's just the,
okay, is it true?
okay.
The translation follows the Ezra. This is a view of Rabbi Abba Kahana in Vayikra 15. Ka'an, Hain, say Chon, Asadon. Now behold, you must be prepared. Translation follows Rabbi Shmuel Masnus, who renders this phrase a command. You must, Rashi also explains that this must be done even against your will. The king gave them another opportunity to submit to his decree, contrary to his proclaimed determination that whoever does not fall and prostrate themselves immediately be thrown into a fiery burning furnace. He did so out of deference to their friend Daniel and to the high rank.
He already had evidence and testimony against them that they didn't bow. So according to what Nebuchadnezzar himself said before, they already should be thrown in right away. But he gave him another chance. Okay.
Seems like a lot of the things that the people do wrong, their punishment is they're thrown into a burning fire, a furnace.
Yeah, that we said before that was the way that they did things in Babylonia. The same thing happened to Avram Avinu when he refused to bow down to Nimrod's Getchgelach. And so we're seeing history repeat itself hundreds of years later.
Okay. Yep. On who, Elo, the next one. And who is the God who can save you from my hands? This vain boast of Nebuchadnezzar directly contradicts his humble recognition of God's omnipotent in his declaration. In truth, your God is the God over gods, the Lord of kings.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting. Just a few psukim ago, Nebuchadnezzar was exclaiming that Hashem is the greatest, and now he's he was so impressed with what Daniel, how he knew the dream, how he interpreted the dream, and how Daniel didn't say that he could interpret any dream. He was just revealed all of this by Hashem. He was the one that revealed this to him. So Nebuchadnezzar was so he was a real believer in Hashem at that point, but then for some reason over here he's I don't know how much time has elapsed between the interpretation of the dream and the setting up of this idol or whatever it is, a statue. Seems to be in direct contradiction to the admission and the declaration that he made in the previous psukim. Okay, so we have another paragraph to read over here. Alshich cites the view of the Zohar. Even though Hashem intercedes to save somebody who's endangered by forces of nature, drowning or wild animals, he does not interfere if the person is threatened by another human being. Oh, who says this? The view of the Zohar. Wow. To do so is to tamper with the principle of Bechira, free will, the cornerstone of Hashem's purpose in this world. Is his intention that humans, with their gift of their own Bechira, should recognize his presence in the world and submit to his will. Thus, Nebuchadnezzar was saying correctly that even though Hashem's intercession could save them from the fire, who will save you from my hands? He did not say the Yachil. He didn't say who is able to save you. Rather, he said who will save you. Only a high degree of merit on the part of the intended victim could justify Hashem's interference with the free will of the attacker. Okay, that's not what they say on the hotline, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll have to write in this source over here from the Zohar to the hotline, see what they say. They say there's no such a thing. This is quite astounding what they say over here. The Alshich quotes the Zohar. Wow. In other words, the the other principle is that even though it's true, a person has free will. He can decide to try to do something that he wants to do, but and that's his free will. Whether or not he will be successful in being able to do what he decides and plans and figures to do, that's completely mina shamayim. That has nothing to do with his ability. He can't produce the actual results. He can't guarantee that he'll be successful to do that which he used his free will to set out to try to do. That's totally in Hashem's hands, and Hashem will interfere. I mean, we don't know. I shouldn't say he definitely will interfere, but we certainly can't say that he definitely won't interfere, because otherwise it would be interfering with this person's free will. I'm quite surprised by this source over here, to tell you the truth. Okay. I'd like to see that Al-Shik inside. And the Zohar. Vayeshev. Oh, you know what it's talking about? It's probably talking about the brothers with Yosef. Were the brothers able to do away with Yosef? Did they have the free will to do that? And Hashem wouldn't interfere because he won't interfere with the brothers' free will if they decided to do such a thing. It's probably the issue over there in the Zohar in Parshas Vayeshev. Okay, so there you have it. Okay, we got to go. Oh, wow, it's late. Okay. All the best, everybody. Have a great day.
Okay.
Oh, so tomorrow we'll have a shir tomorrow on the Tainus.
Okay, good.
Okay. All the best.
Okay, be well, everyone.
Bye, Mayor. Bye, Alan. Bye, Lou.
Bye-bye. See you in a few minutes.